JavaScript mouse events. Mouse events happen when user interacts with the mouse. In this lesson, we are going to be building a mouse event simple program that reacts to when a mouse is moved in or out of a box. So looking at the screen here, you can see a text that says mouse is out, which is simply indicating that currently my mouse is out of this box. And if you look at where my cursor is, you can see that it's out of the box. If I move it in, guess what is going to happen? You're already thinking what is going to happen, but let's find out what the reaction is going to be. So I will move this cursor back inside the box. Now you can see mouse is over me. So which means that this box is reacting to mouse movement on the page. If I take it out of the box again, you can see it has returned back to the default state. So let's go ahead and build this together. Here are some common mouse events in JavaScript. We have click, we have double click, mouse over or mouse out, mouse move, mouse down or mouse up. All of this represents different mouse events in JavaScript. So here's my boilerplate code. Let's go ahead and make the mouse over event together. So here I have a comment that says add a box with an ID of box and a simple text here. Move mouse over this box. So I'll go ahead and then make this simple div. So the div is going to have an ID of box. I already added style for the box. So it's going to have this ID. And inside it, I want this text, move mouse over this box. So now, in this box, you can put any style that you want. In my own case, I've added a style guide. I added some styles to it. This is it. So you can as well go ahead and give it any style of choice. So now that I have this box now, I'm going to move over this inside my code output and see. You can see that it's doing nothing. So I'll then go ahead into my script section and then begin to manipulate these elements here in order to give me the desired result. So let's go, let's carry on. First thing first that we are going to do is that we are going to first target that ID that we have inside the elements that we want to manipulate. And you know how we used to do it. So I'm just going to select it and then use this to get the ID. Document.get element by ID. And what is the ID? The ID is box. So now I have this. Now it's now time to listen for events. So the first event is going to listen for when I move mouse over it. And the second event is going to listen for when I move mouse outside of that box. So let's go ahead and add event listener. So the event listener is going to take two parameters. So the move mouse over, the mouse over is the first one. And when the mouse is moved over this box, what should happen? That's the second part of that parameter. And that is going to be a function. So a function that will react or that will be triggered when a mouse is moved over the box. So this box then is just going to change the content. That's the purpose of the inner HTML. Display a simple text. Mouse is over me. Like this. Now, I have this function already. Again, I want to add another event listener for when I move mouse outside of the box. So let me show you what I mean. Now, if I move my mouse, now you can see this mouse is over me. But if I move the mouse outside, you can see that it's not returning back to the default state because I've not had an event listener for it. You can see it's not returning back to what I have here, move mouse over this box. So let me add that event listener for that second part as well. So I will move ahead inside this, add another event listener. And this time it's going to be for a mouse out. That is when I move the mouse outside the box. Then I will add the function that should trigger when that mouse is out. And then I will select the ID, which is referring to the element. And then there will be a text that will just simply say mouse is out of me. So let me use this text as it is now. So let's now check if our code is working. So take a look at this and pay attention closely to what is happening when I move this cursor into the box. You can see this mouse is over me. But if I take it outside of this box, outside, you can see mouse is out of me. So any part, as long as it's not inside that box, it's going to give you this, which means this is being triggered when the mouse is mobile, which is telling us that our add event listener is actually working correctly. And anytime I move the mouse inside, it will give you this mouse is over me, which means that both the add event listener are working in the correct order and in the correct manner that we expect them to work. So this is an example of a mouse event in JavaScript, and now you can use add event listener to listen to the movement of the mouse and respond or react to such an event in your application or in your code.